One of the things I've discovered is that commercial powdered baby bird food is supposed to be perfectly nutritionally balanced. The birds won't eat it. I mean, they will literally die before they'll eat it. So this little guy is getting a mixture of baby oatmeal cereal, eggs, minced eggs. He seems to be spitting out a lot of the whites, but at least he's getting the yolks. Quinoa, cooked quinoa, and what's the other thing in here? A little bit of yellow egg food, all moistened up nicely. And he will eat this until the cows come home. This is one of my little equilibrium babies. His head goes back when he's sleeping mostly, but as you can see, he looks pretty normal a lot of the time. Are you starting to get full yet? Huh? Oh, he's getting fat. He's a fat little face. He says, give me more. He's really undersized. Really undersized. So I brought him up to the house because he just wasn't getting enough to eat. This is the one that was 10 days younger than the next chick in the nest, and I knew the hen was going to give up before he was ready, and I was right. This also has spray millet seeds that I rubbed until I got the shells off and blew the shells off and mixed them in here, so he's getting a certain amount of seed too. But and I was going down and feeding him. I was up to 4 times a day, and still every time I went down there he was just completely empty and just starving, and he's so undersized that I just thought I'm gonna have to bring him up here to take care of him. I keep calling her him. I actually think it's a girl. She's a dilute out of 2 dilute splits. This is Hunter and Venus's youngest baby. Their oldest chick, who also had the equilibrium issues, got attacked by a rat, and I had to put it down because it was mangled. Very unpleasant. Of all the predators, the rats are the worst. They're really hard to protect against because they can, find their way through anything. They catch them through the wires of the cage, and you can't put them in a cage that has no wire on it. They'd be in the dark all the time, so it's just a beast. But so I've had French molt. I've lost 10 chicks to it. Lost meaning that they never grew in normal flight feathers, and what little they did grow in fell off again. So I found as many homes as I could and put down the rest. And I have a lot more that grew in normal flight feathers and then lost them, but I'm assuming that they will grow back normal flight feathers again, and they are all growing back feathers, so we'll wait and see what happens with that. But it's the ones that they never managed to grow in normal feathers that are never going to be normal. And of course there's a responsibility there, because they oftentimes will be carriers for life, and they have an illness, that French molt, that they can pass on to any other bird they come in contact, including cockatiels, lovebirds, canaries and finches, and of course other parakeets. So the ones that I did find home for, I told them the truth. This has a French molt. It's probably a carrier. If you expose it to other birds, it will probably make them sick. Although if you expose them to adult birds, the sickness will be temporary and will pass. So, and it's not, as you can imagine, easy to find homes for a chick like that. So, although I did my best, I could not find homes for all of them. So it's been a tough year. I still have a few birds in the shed, and the chicks are coming out normal. As you can see, this little guy has all of his tail feathers and wing feathers right in place and normal sized. So in spite of having a difficult start, he does not seem to have an active case of French molt, which is nice. I think the worst of the epidemic is past. Are you getting full yet? Are you getting full? He still does have a little bit of the spins, but it's better, so I'm assuming that it will eventually right itself. His older brother got so when he was wide awake and active, he was totally normal, and when he fell asleep, his head would roll back. So I think it was more out of habit than anything else. So, so yeah. So this little fella's going to live with me for a while. She is slightly less than 4 weeks old, so she really needs to be fed for a while. So I'm going to give her a little. You want some of this? You want some of this? No. I think you're so full you can't even move. Okay, so that's our baby.